Welcome to online class. This is a continuation of chapter number 1, history and its sources, study and sources, part 4, class 6, history. I was discussing the topic archaeological sources. Okay, sources are basically resources which came from something. Okay, they are evidences. So these sources, I was explaining you last time. I explained you inscriptions and coins. Today I am going to explain you monuments. Monuments means buildings. Okay, so we are talking about the ancient buildings or structures. Structures are also called buildings only, like forts, palaces, pyramids, and religious temples. Okay, so these are basically ancient buildings like Taj Mahal. Okay, I can give you an example. They are like Taj Mahal. Okay, Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar, okay, India Gate, Qutub Minar, etc. falls in the category of monuments. Okay, so ancient buildings are structures like forts, palaces, pyramids, and religious temples that have some historical importance or development or events that happened in the past is called a monument. A monument gives information, okay, not only about the people who built them. So who built this Taj Mahal, who built this Qutub Minar or Red Fort or what we call India Gate, etc. But who lived in them and around them hundreds of years ago. But it also gives us information about art. Art means sculpture, painting, etc. of creative skills, okay? And also it basically reflects our culture. That is, in Nepali it is known as Sanskriti, okay? Are you understanding? So these are known as monuments. The fourth topic that I am going to make you understand is artifacts in archaeological sources. Okay, now artifacts in Nepali it is known as Kalakriti. Okay, so Kala, okay, Kari ta chhara I kriti heru, Kalakriti heru. Okay, now they are known as Kalakriti heru. Okay, so artifacts means Kalakriti heru are useful man-made objects. They are made by man. These objects are made by man and are of historical importance or cultural importance because they talk about the development of this event that happened in the past. They include the various goods, okay, that was made by the man, okay, who were living in the past. So they include the various goods left by our ancestors. Now, who are ancestors? Person from whom we have descended, we have come, okay, are known as ancestors. So they include the various goods left by our ancestors like ornaments, jewelry, okay, gahana, okay, tools, okay, instruments, weapons, hatyar, that is also like weapons means knives, etc., swords, etc., pottery, pots, toys, painting, statue, pan, P-A-N-S, pans means tawa, no? Combs and clothes gives us valuable information about the people who lived in the past. And they fall in the category of artifacts or Kalakriti heru, okay? Now, we are moving on to the second sources that is known as literary sources. The second source is known as L-I-T-E-R-A-R-Y, literary sources, okay? Literary means Sahittik, okay? In Nepali it is known as Sahittik, okay? Sahittik. Sahittik, okay, what we call, okay, sources. Sources means, I told you, evidences, okay? And literary sources means, okay, anything that is in the written form or connected with writing, study, or appreciation of literature. So, literature means sahitya. Remember that. So, literary sources we are talking about, they are also known as documents or documentary sources. D-O-C-U-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y. Documentary sources. They are also known as documentary sources because they have documents. Written documents or written sources. The handwritten document of the past is in the form of book. So the handwritten document in the form of book is known as manuscripts. Oh, manuscript, okay, sorry. Is known as manuscripts. So this is the definition of manuscript. So the handwritten document in the form of book is known as manuscript. Okay. The first written script means the handwritten, okay, what we call character or the handwritten document, okay, was in the form of pictures, okay, of objects like sun, sun, sun and the moon. So they used to make objects or pictures of sun, etc. So that was the first starting of writing a document, okay. This script is known as pictogram, okay. This script is known as pictogram. P-I-C-T-O. Pictogram means, okay, picto means picture, okay, okay. So it is a use of icons, okay, like A for apple. When you are studying in smaller classes, A for apple you study, no? So if I write an apple here, okay, then I'll make a picture of the apple here, okay, like this way. I'll make a picture of the apple, okay. This is known as an apple. This picture basically represents an apple. This is known as pictogram, okay. So after pictogram, okay, another first form that was developed by the Mesopotamians was known as cuneiform writing, okay. That is also known as Wetship, that you will study in, okay, in the future chapters, okay, in your book, that is in the Mesopotamian civilization, where you find they develop a new style of writing that is known as Q-U-N-E-I, cuneiform, okay, cuneiform writing or cuneiform, okay, language, okay, was used by the Mesopotamians after pictogram, okay, and this Mesopotamia is in modern Iraq. In ancient times, learned people wrote on stones. So learned people basically used to write on stones. Clay tablet. Clay tablet means, what is a clay tablet? Now, just I want to rub this one. Clay tablet. T-A-B-L-E-T, tablet. Clay means mato, mitti, okay, mitti or mato, okay. And what is a tablet? A writing pad, okay, like a paper, a writing pad made of mud, okay, writing pad made of mud, okay, like a paper, it was made of mud, okay. Then, so in ancient times, learned people used to write on stones, clay tablets, dry leaves of trees, like the Bhojpatra of India. So the earliest form of writing on the leaves is known as B-H-O-J, Bhojpatra. Okay, you can ask your grandmothers, I think so. Okay, Bhojpatra of India. Okay, so they used to write on the leaves. This is known as Bhojpatra of India. It is not in your book. Okay, and the parchments. That is the what we call a stiff, flat, thin material made from the skin of animals like goats and sheep. They used to write on the parchment of skin of animals, okay. Written records of ancient India can be divided into the three main categories. So literary sources can be divided into three main categories, okay. These categories are, okay, what are these categories? I'll write on the blackboard. They are known as, number one is known as religious, okay, religious literature, L-I-T, okay, literature. Number three, okay, secular literature. And number third is, okay, travelogue, T-R-A-V-E-L-L, okay, travelogue, okay, L-O-G-U-E-S, travelogues or accounts of foreign travelers, okay. Now we are doing the first one, that is called religious literature, okay. So we are doing the first one, that is known as religious literature. Religious means what? Dharmic Sahitya. Dharmic Sahitya in Nepali, okay. In India, the main sources of Hindu religion, okay, or Hindu religious literature are the Vedas. So there are four Vedas, okay. Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda and Atharva Veda that you will be studying in the chapter called the Vedic Age, okay. And this was the earliest form of the written record, okay. So it was written near the river Indus, okay, this Vedas, okay. And apart from the Vedas, okay, there are other sources also, religious sources like the Brahmanas, okay, like the Aryankas and the Upanishads are the expansion of this Vedas, okay. There is another religious literature after the Vedas and the expansion of the Vedas that is known as the epic, the great epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, okay. So these Vedas as well as the expansion of these Vedas as well as the epics Ramayana and Mahabharata was written in Sanskrit, pure Sanskrit language, okay. And they throw a flood of light, okay. They throw immense, okay, light on the Vedic life, the life of the people who used to live in the Vedic age, as well as the rites and rituals, means religious ceremony or act, customs and traditions. So we are talking about tradition. Tradition means what? So last time only I told you tradition means, okay, it's a custom which is passed down from generation after generation. An example of tradition is putting a tree on Christmas Eve. So likewise only, okay, they throw a light on the life of the people, rites and rituals, okay, that is religious ceremonies, customs and traditions, and the value system of that period. So value system means moral values, what is right, what is wrong. So we are talking about virtue. Virtue means good behavior as well as vices, bad behavior, okay, so of that period. And it also talks about Brahmastra and the Puranas, the holy book of the Hindus, okay, form the backbone of the Indian culture and Hinduism, okay. Hinduism in the olden times, it is also known as, in a book you don't find this word, it is known as Sanatan, okay, Sanatan Dharma, okay, or Dharma, okay, which is known as eternal way. So it is known as eternal way, Sanatan Dharma, okay. So Hindu religion is also known as Sanatan Dharma, okay. The Buddhist religious books include Tripitakas, which was written in Pali language. Now Pali was the main form of sacred language used by the Buddhist monk as well as Lord Gautama Buddha. He is known as Siddhartha, okay. And this religious book called Tripitaka includes three, okay, what we call sutta, okay. They are known as Sutta Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka, and Vinaya Pitaka, okay. Then Jataka tells of the previous and future birth of Gautama Buddha. So there is also the story of the previous and future birth of Gautama Buddha in the Jataka tales. Then Sutras and Mahayana Sutras are another religious books of the Buddhist. The Jain religious texts include Upangas, Prakirans, usually written in Prakrit language. So the founder of the Jain religion is known as Mahavira. Okay, he used to write in not Pali language but Prakrit language. Okay, so the sacred language of the Jains was Prakrit language, and their books include basically Upangas and Prakirans. Okay, now we are going to the second literary source, that is known as the secular source. Okay, secular literature. Secular literature. Okay, now secular means sansarik. Sansarik, okay, Sansarik Sahitya, okay. It is known as Sansarik Sahitya. Secular literature is any literature which is not rooted in religious belief, practices and tradition. What it means is, okay, secular literature is any literature which does not has influence or has developed from religion or its practices handed down from generation after generation. It has no relation with religion. Therefore, it is called secular literature. Any story which has no significant relation in any religion can be called secular literature. So what are secular literature? These are books and manuscripts that tells us about historical aspects of life, like music, dance, painting, architecture means buildings, and regime or government of various kings who used to rule India in the olden times. The first, okay, secular literature that comes to our mind is known as Arthashastra. A-R-T-H-A, Artha Shastra, okay, S-H-A-S-T-R-A, Shastra, okay. Arthashastra was written by Kautilya, okay, popularly known as Chanakya, Vishnugupta, and also another name known as Krishna. He has three names, okay, popular names. He is known as Vishnugupta, Chanakya, as well as Krishna, apart from Kautilya. Remember that. So, Arthashastra is the best example of secular literature because it is an ancient Indian Sanskrit treatise. So it is a Sanskrit, okay, book. It is a Sanskrit book, okay, or written work, okay, on state affairs, okay, wealth and resources, that is economic policy, and military strategy, means how to manage the army. Okay. Now, apart from that, okay, we have Sangam literature also. Sangam literature is one of the main sources of ancient Tamil history. So, apart from Arthashastra, we have Sangam literature, S-A-N-G-A-M, Sangam literature in the secular literature, okay, that is second source. The Sangam literature is about Tamil history, okay, as Sangam poems basically mentions numerous kings and princes. It refers to various kings and princes who ruled the Tamil region, okay. The existence of some of whom have been confirmed through archaeological sources. So, it has been confirmed that they used to rule South India in the olden times, and it is found due to the archaeological sources that we have studied just now, okay. Another secular literature that you find is grammar books, okay, grammar books. So we are talking about grammar, we are talking about Sanskrit grammar, okay. They are known as Panini, P-A-N-I-N-I, Panini and Patanjali, P-A-T-A-N-J-A-L-I, Patanjali. Don't think about Ramdev Baba, okay. We are talking about grammar books of Sanskrit, okay. So, grammar books of Panini and Patanjali also contain some historical events, like Sanskrit became a standard language, okay. It was the language used by the common people or the publics in that time. So, Sanskrit was the main form of, or main medium of language through which people used to communicate. Therefore, grammar books were written at the time. So, this also falls in the category of secular literature because it has all been written, okay. It also includes Memos, okay. So, the fourth one is Memos, okay. So, I am just rubbing the blackboard. Let me finish the secular literature. The fourth one is known as Memos, M-E-M-O-I-R, Memos or Memos, okay. Now, Memos are basically biographies, okay. They are known as biographies, G-R-A-P, biography or biographies or historical account or evidence of history. So, what are biographies? Okay, an account of someone's life written by someone else is known as biography. So, somebody has written about somebody. This is known as biography. It also includes memos, okay, or biographies of rulers like King Harsha Vardhana. Example, Harsha Charitra written by Banabhat, okay. Apart from Memos, okay, the fifth one is known as Chronicles. Now you have, okay, basically seen movies of Chronicles of Narnia, okay. Chronicles of Narnia, okay. What are chronicles? Chronicles are basically prose or verse, okay. It is an account of event in order of time kept by certain rulers in their court. Like this chronicles includes N.I. Akbari, okay. N.I. Akbari, A-K-B-A-R-I, Akbari, okay. N.I. Akbari, okay, basically tells about the revenue system of Akbar. So, you'll be studying about Akbar in class 7, okay. Then, Akbarnama, A-K-B-A-R, Akbarnama is another, okay, written work, okay, which tells us about Akbar's life, written by the poet called, the historian called Abul Fazl, F-A-Z-A-R, Al-Fazl. He is an eminent historian, okay. With this, I have completed two, most important literary sources. The last one is left, which is known as travelogue, which I'll do in the next class, and I'll finish that chapter, okay. With this, have a good day.